All right, well, I've had a little bit of a frustrating experience here. I had this as my fuel gauge, and I had cut I don't know, somehow the cable got cut. So I ordered a new fuel gauge, which is of course plastic and kind of cheap, kind of no good. And it came with this as a molding. I mean, well, and it didn't match. You see how this is not quite as pointy, and this end is kind of wrinkly and whatever. So I took off the original molding, which is this one, which looks really good. The trim piece. The thing is that used to be on this like super high quality like metal housing. And also you see how this has a little angled thing coming down. So it would fit in there when you slide it in. So I tried to wrangle out the innards of this gauge and actually put it in this housing, and then you just can't do it because you can't take off the pin. So what I wound up doing is I took off the molding piece and I put it onto the front of the plastic one, and I had to grind down this thing, which was not angled, so that I could fit it in there. And then the thing is, it has a boneheaded thing where there's a screw on the front to hold this, and the way you do your adjusting is by how far in this thing goes and gets clamped. So I can't put the screw on the front of it. Why would they do that? I don't know. That just seems really stupid. So I'm gonna put the screw in here on the side. The way I have to do that is I need to drill a little mini hole right in here. Let's see if I got this. It's like just... little screw into the hole here without effing it up, so to speak. Come on. Okay, so then when you put this little metal housing there, the way you adjust this is by how far, or is by where you clamp this. So I clamped that. It's stuck. Now, if I wiggle this, which is the physical thing like that, you see, it goes up and down. So that moves freely, looks good, trim looks good. So the only last part of this puzzle is to take this, which is the original one, stick it on here, and I gotta go find my little hand tightening little piece that goes on there. So I'll go find that. All right, well, I took that off. Now this is kind of loose in here, and let's just see if I can finagle this into position. So cable goes through. One tab needs to be straightened out a little bit. I need needle nose pliers for that. Some kind of pliers. Let's see. Okay, let's try this again. Look in the back. So it's close. There we go. That was a bit of a pain in the ass. What's interesting is this comes in there to the middle, so I probably need to slide this one over a little bit as well. See if it'll slide. Not sure on that. All right, so I'll put on the these things on the back. See if I can attach this. Everything is in place. So this one here. Now it makes perfect sense because, of course, this clamp is going outside there instead of the way I had it. So I gotta put this little mini screw in. That's the thing that's gonna clamp with the adjuster. This thing's gonna go up in there. And then I'll just secure it in place, although I have no idea what the actual adjustment would be until I get my tank in. So then that comes down here. This will attach onto my fuel tank. And let's just see. It's turning the fuel gauge. See what it looks like on here. So it looks like that. With this here. So I think that looks good. So the trim comes all the way across here, radio trim, and then that's the original fuel tank trim, even though it's an aftermarket plastic backing of the fuel tank. But I put the original little gray thing that says tank on top in the original molding, which then matches this molding here. I think that looks great. Let me bend down the tabs on the to bend down the tabs on that little piece. And hopefully I won't have to take this out again. I've already done this a couple times. All right, I finally got all these things pushed down. Look, they look mangled a little bit in terms of the paint coming. But look in on the front. This looks pretty good. You know, whether that's a little separated or not, it's not too bad. And you know, maybe I chipped this a little bit, but that's about it. That's as good as it's gonna look. So I'll have to take out this Speedo and put in the chrome piece. I mean, it looks pretty good as it is, but I'll put in the little chrome piece and on top of that, the chrome bezel. And then it may be that this needs to slide over this way so that it's symmetrical. This thing comes in on the round part, and this thing is really only slightly in, and that would make this little pointy part actually go a little further in here. So I'm trying a strategy here on getting this in here, and that I'm going to try to feed through like a piece of a little thin piece of wire or a piece of dental floss or something like that, and then I'll lube it up and push this in, and I'll see if I can pull the little rubber flap around it and then feed this in and get that there. But what I want to do first is clean up my the actual steering column that goes in the tube, because it's a little rusty, and then I can have that in there as I'm doing this, because I have a feeling, well, it doesn't have an end on it, so I guess I don't really have to feed that through yet. I could feed it through afterwards. But it's freaking freezing here, so I'm gonna, oh, the other thing, I got the dash, the grab handle. So let's go look at that. The grab handle here, I was trying to figure out if the long thin part goes up top or underneath, but this is the way that it seemed to fit better. And the rubber there, this rubber one is, you know, it's a little off. I probably could have aligned that a little bit better, but overall the grab handle is good. I have my glove box. I broke a plastic one, so I ordered a different ABS kind or whatever, a kind that maybe wouldn't, it was so cold, and then I pulled the strap down and I broke it. It's over there, cracked. So I could have epoxied that, but I just ordered a different one. But this is now working pretty well. Again, if anybody knows whether this is a cigarette lighter or whether somebody cut that themselves, let me know. And my body bolts, I got these all in, so I have this, that. That's 6 in here. I have all the ones underneath except the very last one, which is up in some kind of a little hole here, and I have to figure that one out. And it's this one right here. It's tricky to feed that in. And then the 2 long ones that go, let's see, the 2 long ones that go right under there, I've got to Dremel out and figure that out. And I've got to install this one. So I'm just trying to stay warm and then go in and out of this garage and see if I can make some progress. So I put my brake line here. I put 2 little clamps and I wired this down here. It goes in perfect into my master cylinder. Tightened everything down, and I was trying to bleed the brakes. Turns out my master cylinder, which I tried to refurbish this, I'm pumping it 100, 200 times, nothing coming through. So I ordered a new German master cylinder, and I'm just going to take this out, plug and play, put that new one in, and hopefully that'll push some brake fluid. Also got to put this Silas sound dampener onto the inside here and on the floor. The other thing, I've been working on my headlights, and so I worked on these bezels, and I got them, they fit great. Here's a little damage here, but that's really the only part that's damaged, there and there. And I have my LEDs, and I've painted the innards here. So what I'm waiting on are, there's 2 little rubber grommets. One goes around the glass and one goes between the bezel and I think the bezel and the body. So once those rubber things come, I should be able to actually put in the headlights. I got these ones here, so I have to feed those in. I think there's rubber grommets that I may or may not have. I need to take a look. I thought I ordered them. And then I can bolt this in and have this be ready and waiting for a bumper, which I don't have. I have these crappy bumpers, and I'm going to probably eventually I'm just gonna bite the bullet and buy the Wolfsburg West bumpers because they look so nice. Unless I can find components. I have one front overrider bumper bar that looks great. The chrome is great, etc. The rest of it is just crap, which I'll throw away. Also, these running boards are crap because I ordered the new ones from Wolfsburg West, which look great. So, oh, interesting. This tire went flat. Why? Why did the tire go flat? Well, I have another tire over here. I do not know why it went flat. This one seems to have held air. That's the crappy wheel, so I don't know why this would not hold air. I think it's because they did not redo they didn't redo this. On the ones where they redid it, here, that holds air. That holds air. Oops. This one they didn't redo, but it still holds air, so I'll have to take that back over. This is a pain. All right. Well, that's the progress. Pretty soon I should be able to get this motor transferred into here. My first step is probably to get the wiring harness in and also put the starter motor in. So I can do those two steps.